Sam, Ed, just checking in.
Where are you now?
Place called the Mess Hall, 149th Street.
Sounds like a dive.
Oh, it's not too bad. Gives me the creeps all.
Why's that?
The people are friendly.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, sure. Call you later. Shall we go, Lois?
The New York World had a city editor named Sam Cooper. Sam qualified easily for the job. He was what the boys in the trade respectfully called old school. He worked like a steam engine, and sometimes he looked like one. But behind the smoke was a nice human being. Sam and I were friends, and it was always a pleasure to see him. Particularly today. He had a job for me.
Well, Betty, hold those calls for a while, will you? Something's happened to Ed Church. One of my best reporters. He's working on a big story. We get a tip that the protection racket's working in the Bronx. Pressure on small business. Laundries, bars, grocery stores. You know, pay up or else.
Just like the old days, huh?
Uh-huh. Church has been out trying to dig up some facts. Last time I heard from him was yesterday.
Well, now, Coop, that doesn't mean anything's happened to him.
Church has got a problem, Diamond. A bottle problem. Well, he's had it for years. He's been fined by every newspaper in town. When he came to me 6 months ago, I made a deal with him. I'd give him tough stories if he'd quit the bottle.
And he kept his word?
For 6 months now. I knew it was going to be rough. I told Ed to call me every day without fail. I haven't heard from him since yesterday.
Sam, a guy with a problem like that, 6 months is a long time between drinks.
On the other hand, Rick, Church was getting pretty close to some names we wanted. Maybe somebody wanted to stop him from digging.
Well, if you think that, you need the police. Give him a call. You pay taxes.
Like you said, Rick. 6 months is a long time. Maybe Ed is sleeping it off somewhere. But if I file with the police, every newspaper in town will know the story we're working on. Besides, if all this comes out, Ed Church will be washed up for all time to come.
Okay, Sam. Got yourself a private detective.
Good. If you hit bottom, I'll call the cops. Oh, I got a picture of Church around here someplace.
Where do I start?
Last time he checked in was a place called the Mess Hall, 149th Street.
Anything else?
Just a name, George King. He's mixed up in it someplace.
Is that all you know about George King?
That's all. Oh. Here's the picture of Church. Nice face, huh? This is one time. I hope it's just another hangover.
Well, I'll hold on to this in case I have to make the swinging door circuit.
And Rick.
Yeah?
Rules. The same rules. If you call me this afternoon, you call me tonight. If something happens to you, I want to be the first to know it.
You mean you'd care?
The boys downstairs like to keep their page complete.
What page is that?
Do you bet sure?
I didn't take Sam Cooper's hint about danger very seriously. Sam had been making interesting news out of dull facts for so long, he was inclined to be somewhat overdramatic. If Ed Church were in any kind of danger, it was most likely just from those little green snakes. Well, you know the kind. They come out of bottles and slither around in your brain.
Howdy. Yes, sir. What'll it be?
A little information. If you know a guy by the name of Ed Church?
Never heard of him.
Ed, come here, will you? You know this guy?
No.
You sure you don't know him?
Yeah. He was in here yesterday. Left with a girl, Lois Baker.
Who's she?
A doll. A real doll.
Well, where does this real doll live?
153rd. It's the only new apartment building on the block. One of the modern jobs.
While he was here, did he drink much?
Yeah. He drank a lot. Of soda pop.
Soda pop? Thanks, friend. Here, have some soda pop on me. Huh? Maybe Sam Cooper was right. Maybe it wasn't green snakes Ed was fighting.
Come in. It's open. First the picture goes. Now the sound's gone. Most exciting point of the whole story. Could you fix it real quick, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
That took me years to learn, but it's really quite simple.
I thought you were the repairman. I just called him.
Well, I'll go home and get my overalls.
Don't bother. I like your wardrobe the way it is.
Well, thank you, but, you know, it is a little impractical. No place for pliers or screwdrivers.
Let's not be practical.
Let's, honey, just until I get a few answers, okay?
So try me.
So do you know a fellow by the name of Ed Church? Do you know where he is?
Oh. Now I guess. You a friend of his?
That's right. My name's Richard Diamond.
Well, I'm glad you came, Mr. Diamond. We were hoping somebody would.
Why, is he here?
No. Just drunk.
Well, where is he?
At Joe's. Joe's my boyfriend. If you like, I'll tell you the whole story.
Yeah, please do.
I met Ed yesterday at a bar. The mess hall. We started talking, and he insisted on buying me a couple of drinks. I was supposed to meet Joe there, but he phoned and told me to meet him at a friend's house for dinner and some poker. Ed was such a sweet old guy, I asked him to come along.
Was he already loaded?
At that point, he wasn't even drinking. But when we got to this other place, he sure made up for lost time. Anyway, he passed out. Joe and I felt responsible for him. Joe put him up for the night.
Where does Joe live?
Are you driving?
Uh-huh.
About 1.5 miles from here.
Lois said she'd call Rovey and tell him I was coming. Hi, I'm Richard Diamond.
Nice to know you. Have any trouble finding the place?
No, it's very easy.
Most people get lost when they take that turn by the underpass. There's your boy. You know, he downs that stuff like he was putting out a fire.
Well, maybe he is.
Maybe so. It's a shame, though. He's a real sweet guy.
Come on, Ed. Come on.
Oh, God, let me alone.
Come on, get up.
Let me alone, will you? Please, let me alone.
No, come on, come on.
Let me alone.
Come on, wake up. Look at me. Look at me.
Who are you?
I'm Richard Diamond. Friend of Sam Cooper's. He's worried about you.
Worry about me.
That's right.
Man like Sam Cooper worry about a bum like me. Ed Church is a bum, a bottle-draining bum. You tell Sam that. Tell him thanks for trying, but won't work. Ed Church is no good.
Now, come on, Ed. Come on. Now, you fell off the wagon. You can get back on.
Not this time, I can't. I'll just tell Sam what I said. Ed Church is no good.
Now, well, you tell him yourself. Come on, I got a car outside. Come on.
Well, forget it and let me alone.
What do you know about George King?
There's no George King. George King never existed. Now tell Sam, go away and let me alone.
you let him sleep it off. When he feels better, I'll put him in a cab.
You don't mind?
Why should I?
Well, let me give you a cab fare.
No. If he needs the fare, I'll take care of it.
Well, thanks.
And look, don't worry about a thing. Ed's in good hands.
Well, thanks again. Operator 2956789-340 reporting in, sir.
Did you find him?
Yep, I found him. He cured the thirst, Sam.
Loaded, huh?
Boiled.
How do you like that? Well, at least he's not hurt. You know, sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Everybody said to me, Sam, don't hire Ed Church. He's a rummy. He'll give you nothing but trouble. He'll never change. But would I listen? Oh, me? No, I was up in Cloudland somewhere listening to the music. Well, at least I learned one thing this time. Ed Church is a rummy, period.
Sam, hold on a minute. He was fine for 6 months. What set him off?
What sets any of them off? Compulsion, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But this time I think there might be a better reason.
What do you mean?
Just a hunch. But I'd like to keep digging around.
You know me, Rick. I want to believe.
You said there was no protection racket and no George King. But I didn't like the way he said it. It's probably nothing, but I'd like to keep poking around.
Go on, but keep in touch, huh?
Yeah.
And Rick,
Uh-huh.
I'll withhold my judgment on Ed.
That's good, sir. I decided to find George King. Ed seemed pretty positive he didn't exist, and I figured he did. Maybe my friend the bartender knew the real answer. If he did, I had a way to squeeze it out of him. Hi.
You find that guy you were looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, I found him. Now I'm looking for another guy. Name's George King.
Don't know anything about him.
I think we better have a private talk in your back room.
Mister, I got a bar to run.
I said we're gonna talk. Sometimes the best way to get information out of a frightened man is to frighten him some more. Now, I'm through fooling around with you. I want to know what you know about George King.
I tell you, I don't know nothing.
Now, that's a double negative, which means you do know something.
Well, mister, I don't know how to convince you, but... Hey, wait a minute. Maybe you're Mr. King. That's it, isn't it? You're Mr. King. Well, listen. I didn't tell anything to anyone. And I've been making my payments just like you told me to. I've got tonight's already. Is that what you want? I'll go and get it. You wait right here. Out.
Now, you're not going anywhere. So you don't know what George King looks like. You've never seen him, huh?
No. No, I never have. Nobody's ever seen him. Got a couple phone calls telling us we got to pay off once a week or else. A couple of the guys didn't pay any attention. They ended up in an alley pretty well bruised up.
That's pretty cute. You don't see him now either. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you make the payoffs?
It's a different place each week. I got a phone call just before closing.
Okay. Okay, tonight you pay George King, and next week I get the money.
Yeah, but what...
You want good protection, don't you?
Yeah, sure. But what about
I'll
him?
take care of him. Now, there's only one thing that you have to worry about. Tonight you pay King for the last time. Next week, you pay me. I thought I'd watch the payoff. I was most anxious to introduce myself to the mysterious George King. My friend the bartender told me the exact time and place. The week before, he'd left the envelope behind a chewing gum stand in the subway. Tonight, he was ordered to leave it under the steps of a certain warehouse over on 10th. Well, this was as good a place as any. I didn't have long to wait. Okay, Roby, hold it. Or should I call you George King?
You've got the wrong guy, Diamond. I'm not George King.
Well, then you better take me to him real quick, because he's the guy I want to meet.
You can stop searching now, sucker. I'm George King.
Well, I'd wanted an introduction to George King. I had it now. They took me back to Roby's place. Church was still there, dead to the world.
Pour me one.
Yeah, me too.
And then for me, I'm driving.
Roby, we'd better get out of town. There's going to be quite a rumble after this. We can set up operations again after we get located.
Well, I can pack in 5 minutes, but I'm not going to leave without Lois.
Okay. Here, look after Diamond. I'll get her and be right back.
What do we do with him?
Well, there's only one thing we can do.
I guess you're right. He could pick me out of a mug book for sure.
I could pick you both out.
You're never going to get the chance.
No?
Oh, no, not here. We'll take him out into the country.
Oh, we're going to have a picnic. Now, that really sounds like fun.
I'll get Lois. I'll be right back.
Now, what about the old man?
We'll take him along. I'll be back soon, and don't worry about getting rough with him if he gives you any trouble.
Right.
You know, I can hardly wait. There is nothing like a picnic in the country, I always say.
We have a perfect place picked out for you, too. Very peaceful, very quiet. Just a tall grass, a few birds, and you.
I'll have a lot of visitors.
I really don't think so.
You leave a bad-smelling track, Roby. Now, dumping Ed and me in the country isn't going to help you any. When the press get onto this, they'll be onto you like bloodhounds.
You know, I think you're a little bit confused about this picnic, Diamond. You see, it's just for you. Why the old man? He isn't going to write any stories about us.
Oh, no, you don't believe that, do you? When Ed Church sobers up, there's not enough money in this town to buy him off.
He's cheap. How much does a bottle a day cost, Diamond? And besides, we've got ourselves a gilt-edged insurance policy. You don't believe me? Ask him. Come on, ask him. The old man. Old man, come on, get up. Come on. Come on, that's it. Sit up. I was just telling your friend here that you're not going to write any stories about us, but he doesn't believe me.
He's right, Diamond. There isn't going to be any story. Sorry you got roped into this, but there's nothing I can do.
Ed Sam would have sent you on this if he didn't think you could cut it.
Cooper probably told you I was digging for the name of the boss of this rotten business. Well, I was unlucky. I found him.
Come on, tell him the name on the insurance policy.
George King's real name is Church. That's right, same as mine. His first name is Ron. He's my son.
Now it all made sense. The insurance policy. The Church couldn't squeal on his own son, and they knew it. They knew he'd never write the story. Instead, he'd just wander around town, a broken-down old man with a terrible secret and a growing thirst. An hour passed, and Roby's chum didn't show. Roby was getting nervous. So was I. Well, why are you so nervous? I'm the one that ought to be nervous. You don't suppose she ran out with him, do you?
You're asking for it.
Roby, you know, I just remember where I saw King before. It was when I was coming out of your girlfriend's apartment. Now, maybe it's just my nasty mind, but it does look like to me that they're running out on you.
Shut up.
Okay, but why did he make you stay here while he went and got Lois?
I'll take care of this character myself.
Please, Joe, give it to him.
Come on, Roby. Go ahead and shoot. You want to see me squirm first? Is that what you want? Maybe you'd like to... Like to hear me say how sorry I am. Is that what you want to hear? Sorry I had a lush for an old man.
Ronnie, I know I used to come home drunk. But that happens in lots of families. But their kids didn't turn out like you. What's the matter, son? Didn't I teach you anything?
Oh, sure, you always preached to me about right and wrong. But you were never home long enough to tell me what was right and what was wrong. Come on, Pop, give me the gun.
Why? So you can now become a murderer?
Now, look, what do you want me to do? Give myself up and spend the next 10 years of my life behind bars?
You can't murder. You can't. You just can't. I won't let you.
Look, Pop. There's a lovely, lovely bottle just for you.
I'm sorry you said that.
Pop, I'm going to take that gun.
Stay back, Ron.
You wouldn't shoot me.
Stay back, I'm warning you.
You wouldn't shoot your own son.
Don't make me do it. Ronnie, I'm pleading with you. Stay back.
The gun, Pop.
I want it now. Stand up. Seems like a nightmare.
It's no nightmare, Ed. It's the real thing. And it's not over yet. Now, there's a guy downtown who calls himself a friend of yours. He's got a newspaper to put out tonight, and he's got a big hole in it. Now, you got the words to fill it.
No, Diamond, I couldn't write it. I couldn't.
Ed, somebody's going to write that story. Somebody who doesn't understand it as well as you.
Guess you're right.
In a way, you're lucky, Ed.
What do you mean?
Well, after tomorrow, you get a break. Nobody remembers yesterday's newspaper. Now, I'll give you 5 minutes to tie up the phone, then I'm going to call the police.
Sam? Ed, yeah. I got your story. It's a special. Here's the lead. Bronx protection racket was broken up last night when its leader, George King, was shot by this reporter. George King's real name is Ron Church. He's this reporter's son. Second paragraph.